Finally, thank you, Big Navy, for actually putting out the official scores for the new plank that's coming this next upcoming year for the Navy fitness test. Stay tuned to find out exactly everything that you're going to need to know about it. What is up, guys? You're tuning into Nikki MGTV for another video. As always, you can hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, or down in the comments below if you have questions. But as always, let's roll right into the topic where you like, comment, subscribe, notification bell, all that great stuff. Let's move on. The meat and potatoes of this video is about the plank. Now, the plank is something that's been talked about since CNO, Chief of Naval Operations, Admiral Richardson, actually announced this while he was leaving his term as the Chief of Naval Operations, and kind of just left us on a hanger. Then we ended up hitting the pandemic, which ended up really delaying everything at that point. Then with the new Chief of Navy personnel did announce that they would be seeing one possibly in the next upcoming year, that we were doing trials and all those kinds of things. Now we finally have official guidance on exactly how this is going to be conducted. On the macro perspective, they're going to require that the push-ups portion be done first, followed by the plank portion done second, which is then followed by the run. Now, when we look at this, this makes sense because the aspect of if you're doing a upper body shoulder workout such as push-ups, you might have to mitigate that more, I would say, by putting that on the front end, which I thought everyone knew they were probably going to do based on the fatigue of your muscles, and then going into the plank where you can kind of hold that one out a little bit easier. Also, if you failed the plank portion this cycle, which I find almost nearly impossible for how long the plank is, you will be able to have no issues of saying that you failed the fitness test for this cycle. However, if you are a failure on the push-ups or on the run or the alternative cardio, you are going to fail overall because they're not going to let you waive that, even though this one new portion of the test. So we're going to have a partner which monitors your form, which is going to allow you to have up to 2 chances of corrections on your form, and the third one will count as the final ending of the testing phase. With this process, there's going to be several command fitness leaders that are around you conducting the fitness test as well to ensure accuracy and also timing. They are going to be using a stopwatch, not a phone, because they said there could be errors. Obviously, when you're looking at iPhone, there are ways that you could end up accidentally pressing start or stop, and that could inaccurately record results, which is why I think they went with that. Service members will begin face down on the deck with elbows bent, forearms flat on deck, with the body in a straight line through the head, shoulders, back, buttocks, and legs. Elbows must be aligned directly below the shoulders at the 90-degree angle between the forearm and the upper arm. Hands will either be in fists with the pinky side of the hand touching the deck or lying flat with palms touching the deck. Forearms may be parallel or angled inward, but the hands cannot be clasped together. Feet should be placed hip width apart. Hips must be lifted off the deck with only the forearms, hands, and toes on the deck. Knees are straight, pelvis in a neutral position, and back flat. The back, buttocks, and legs must be straight from head to heels and must remain so throughout the test. The head and neck should be kept neutral, face looking straight down the deck throughout the duration of the test, so the body remains straight from the head to the heels. Toes, forearms, fists, and palms must remain in contact with the deck at all times, and folding hands is not permitted. No part of the body of the service member may contact the vertical support surface. They do say that you're going to have to be either entirely on the mat, off the mat, wherever you're doing it. That way you're not getting any kind of extra advantage or slipping out or any of that kind of thing. You have to wonder what are the things that are going to make you fail. And they said any body part, but this really means any body part. So obviously your knee, and if you were to drop down to your stomach as well. But they actually include also on top of this if your head is touching your hands. Now, if you ever do a plank, try and do that. That's an obvious support, and that's also an obvious failure that you would be supporting yourself up with another structure of your body at that point. Overall, this does look like a proper plank that we're looking forward to. And I have to say, looking at the scores, I was actually relieved because we were hearing numbers up to over 4 minutes. We heard numbers under 4 minutes. We heard a long spectrum of different variables that we could see for the scores. I do feel confident about this. I'm going to start practicing these as well. I will link those scores down below. I will say a lot of you guys are coming into the military as a 18 to 22-year-old, so I'll cover those scores just real quick so you guys kind of understand that. So for the 17 and 19 category, it looks like for the forearm planks, the minimum to pass is 1 minute and 10 seconds, but I promise you will never be allowed to get that minimum. You should be aiming for at least 2 minutes and 10 seconds, and the max will be 3 minutes and 40 seconds. And the times are the same across the board between males and females. 20 to 24 is going to be a minimum minute and 5 seconds for passing. And then, as I said before, you're not going to be allowed to get that. So anticipate getting a 2 minute and 5 second passing score. And again, the max is 3 minutes and 35 seconds for both male and female. If you are older, you can definitely check out that list as well, but I know that will cover most of the people that are here. Now, they did also include a 200-meter row. If you don't know or remember, they did have an elliptical machine, which they did have as an alternative, but they have now since removed that. And people were looking for other options. So the row machine has been another option that's added, similar to how the Marine Corps does it. On top of that, we also have the treadmill, the bike, and also the swim. So definitely check out those options if your command allows them. They do talk about that you'll need approval to go do those things, but I'll say this, most commands are pretty free to let you do that, but for my current command, we are required to run it unless we do have a note from a physician. So that's just one thing to put out there as well. So after you've looked at these scores of the planks and seeing how long they are, and I believe the Marine Corps is about a 4-minute plank, so they do have a higher requirement there. What do you think about this new change? Overall, I am very happy with it. I am glad we're not doing sit-ups. I feel like this is more my cup of tea for doing a core strength workout, and I'm actually very happy we're moving away from that. I do know that there is a select or probably a good majority of people that said they did not have issues with doing any sit-ups and could crunch out maybe 100, 110 and not even be fatigued. So I was not in that boat, sadly, but I would love to know your guys' thoughts. And if you guys do have questions about this or anything else, you can always hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, or down in the comments below. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.